Good morning, friends. Welcome to Nanda's Monday morning quiz number 11. And happy to launch this on the first day of this year's Quality Month celebration. As most of you are aware, November is celebrated world over as the Quality Month. And I'm happy to, it happened to be a Monday. And so that's how a Monday morning quiz is also in. So happy to be with you, and on the very first day as you guys are preparing to celebrate the Quality Month. In fact, my message for the Quality Month and for the rest of the next 1 or 2 years, where I would like you all to focus on, is I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that stability before capability is the mantra that I've declared for the Quality Month celebration. I think we should all take a pledge, because I've seen in many organizations, many places where this particular fundamental rule is probably not being adhered to. People tend to continue to make the same mistakes of calculating capability very early in the process and not worrying about stability. I think that's a message that I have posted in my LinkedIn today, that stability before capability. And there's a growing number of, as I meet a few organizations, the CEOs and the board, they're all very keen on, they're worried about the pressures on the bottom line, with a lot of changes that are happening in the supply chain, increase in the cost of raw material, and all that. With all that, there is a lot of scope for improvement. We need to improve. Otherwise, the bottom line is under tremendous pressure. And as I see it, many organizations, this particular concept of stability before capability, as identified by Hitoshi Kume, Stewart, Deming, and AIAG, is not being adhered to. So, and I think that could be a pledge for all of us. So, with my opening remarks, so let me move on to this edition of this quiz. So so let me share my PPT, and we'll move on with the quiz for this week. Right. So Monday morning quiz MMQ 11, dated 1st November 2021. And so before we begin the actual proceedings of the quiz, this announcement which I made last time, I continue to announce the same thing. So there will be an MMQ winners virtual meet, up to the winners up to MMQ 1 to MMQ 10. They will be felicitated during a virtual meet. The award vouchers will be presented to all the winners on that day, which is on the 7th November 2021. Time is 6 p.m. IST. And the Zoom meeting invite will be emailed to all the winners on the 6th of November 2021. So do attend this for all the winners. You can certainly attend with with your family members or colleagues if you wish. So you could share the invite to them so that they also be there to be happy to be present when you are getting felicitated by the chief guest on the 7th November 2021. So let me move on to the most important part of this presentation, the quiz question for MMQ number 11, dated the 1st November 2021. This is again an output from Minitab, and it's an output of a multiple regression analysis that is being shown here. The session window is what is reproduced in this slide. And there are three statements pertaining to the multiple regression analysis that we have used. So you have the model summary mentioned here with the session window output, which has all the details, and also the regression equation at the bottom. So here are the three statements which you need to probably address it as true or false. So the first statement goes like this. So looking at this session window, you need to answer these three statements, true or false statements. Multicollinearity exists in this model. Is it true or false? That's what you need to mention in the Google form. The second statement, film density. One of the X variable is film density in this, mentioned as FILMDENS, film density as the most significant effect on thickness. Okay, film density has the most significant effect on thickness. Thickness is the Y variable here. So you need to check and let me know whether it is true or false. And the third statement, plug temperature, okay, mentioned in abbreviation TEMP, as the least significant effect on thickness. So have a look at the session window closely and then give your answers, whether they are true or false, in the Google form mentioned in the description of this YouTube video. Right, moving on to the next section of this is the explanation of the previous quiz, MMQ10. I asked this on 18th October 2021. This was an attribute gauge R&R study. So let me let me explain to you the answer. This was a very straightforward question, I thought, because all that you had to look at is the MSA, AIAG, MSA 4th edition manual, and all these are direct answers to the question. So the first statement is kappa values in this study indicate good agreement, right? So the answer is true. If you look at the output from GaugePack software, if you see all the kappa values are greater than 0.75, which indicates good agreement as per the AIAG manual. So the answer is true, and I'm happy to share that nearly 67% of the respondents got this answer correctly. So the first statement, kappa values are indicating good agreement. The answer is true. The second statement I asked was false alarm rate of upriser C is not acceptable. So the false alarm rate of upriser C, false alarm rate is 8.8%, right? From the session window, from the output of GaugePack, you're able to see that it's 8.8%. And if you look at the MSA manual, AIAG MSA manual, page number 140 of the MSA manual, if you look at that, any false alarm rate of less than about 10% is marginally acceptable. So the whereas the statement says it is not acceptable is actually false. And in fact, I was surprised that only 33% of the respondents could get this correctly. All that they had to do was to open the AIG manual, go to page number 140 and look at those tables and then compare these values of this statement and then give it. In fact, this output of GaugePack is also the same example that you have in the MSA manual. It's the same study we have entered in GaugePack and it was the same values. So I thought it's a very straightforward question, but nevertheless, only 33% got this correctly. So moving on to a very similar statement, statement number 3. This time it is about miss rate. Miss rate of upriser A and B is marginally acceptable. So if you look at the miss rate, it's about 6.3 is the miss rate of upriser A and B. And the manual says, the same page number 140, that small table says, any miss rate of greater than 5 is unacceptable. Okay, so this statement is also false. We say it is marginally acceptable, but the manual says anything greater than 5 is unacceptable. So the right answer is false. This statement is false. About 50% of the respondents got this correctly. Okay, so it was a very straightforward question, I thought, when we look at the manual, but even the total number of respondents also was less. Possibly the reason is when it comes to probably attribute MSA study, probably not very popularly done or very popularly used by many. I think that is what I anticipate, but I think there is a lot of scope for continual improvement when it comes to attributes data, especially you are involved in a lot of visual inspection and using go no-go gauges and all that, where I think there is a need to do attribute MSA study and plot attribute control charts, and then definitely improve your process, because attributes data is probably not given the importance it needs as we do it for variable data, right? So with these few inputs, let me now declare the winners of MMQ10. So this time, there are only 2 winners who could get the answers correctly. Mr. S. Ramesh, Deputy Manager Quality from Rane Brake Lining, Strucci, and Ms. S. Sangeeta, Team Leader Quality Assurance of Carburetor Universal at, Aziz at Kakanad. So congratulations to Ramesh and Sangeeta for getting this quiz correctly. You receive a merit certificate and the gift voucher. It will be handed over to you on the 7th November when we have the winners meet or virtual meet. So thank you so much for your continued support to this quiz and your responses. And I am delighted, and I'm sure this week's quiz on multiple regression analysis also will force you to learn more about the tool and then push you to give the right answers. The question looks simple, but as always, all our questions are more towards making you think about it, use the tool, look at the interpretation. That's what it's all about. So with these few words, let me wish you all a very happy, safe Diwali. And as always, stay safe, take care, wish you all the best of health, happiness, and prosperity. Okay, so with these, let me, bid goodbye for now and look forward to your responses. And by next Monday, we will have the results for this quiz. Okay, bye for now. See you soon.